Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kalyn. If you are new, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button right down there so you can become a part of our family. Now today's video is going to be a tutorial on my everyday foundation routine. Just kidding. I really just don't do my makeup like this all the time. Most days I'm in sweatpants with my hair up, hanging out with my two kids because, you know, I am a mom. So unless I'm going out to family functions and events and stuff like that, or my filming days, I just relax, you know. Anyway, if you don't beat your face like I do, no worries. You can still find little tips and tricks on skincare and things that you can apply to your foundation routine. So without further ado, if you want to see how I do this, then keep on watching. Alright, so just a little disclaimer. If you hear any babbling or goo-goos, like goo-goo talk, I guess you would call it, right? That's my son. He's right next to me and he decided not to sleep during my filming today. I got the other one down, just not him. So we're gonna have a little guest today, no worries. First thing that we're gonna do, I already pre-washed my face and I already exfoliated my face. That's two huge steps that you guys need to do before you apply anything on your face in general as far as makeup goes, because my saying is that if you treat your skin with love, your skin will show you love back. As in, if you aren't, you know, cleaning your face, washing your face, you know, keeping your face nice and moisturized and hydrated, then when you put anything on top of that, obviously your skin's gonna show it. You're gonna have dry patches, you're gonna have areas of your skin that probably won't take the foundation, or areas where it'll come off super quick and problems like that. So you always wanna make sure that in general, night and morning, you always want to wash your face, exfoliate. If you have acne, obviously use your acne treatments and stuff like that. So I've already washed my face, like I said, and exfoliated my face. So we are gonna go on to using some of my eye cream because, you know, I gotta start early. Don't want any issues. For my eye cream, I'm gonna use the Dirty Works Stop Puffy Eyes Eye Cream. Yes. Going in with my eye cream, I'm gonna take just, you know, a tiny little drop right here on my ring finger. Let's go like about that big. Nothing crazy. You don't need a lot. The area isn't that big. A little bit on your ring finger, and I'm just gonna dab that right on to my under eye section. And I'm not wiping because wiping isn't really doing anything. If you're pressing it right into the skin, again, you're pressing, you're dabbing, you're pushing it right into the skin, so the product will actually work. So taking my ring fingers, like I said, and I'm just pushing that right into the skin. Make sure my eyes are not puffy, they're nice and hydrated and ready to take on that concealer and baking. I have dry skin, so for those of you who don't have dry skin, these steps aren't necessary for you. Of course, they would be good in general, just so you have a super nice hydrated, you know, as I like to say, canvas for everything that you're gonna put on it. But if you don't have dry skin, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to do this step. So for today, I'm gonna be using the Organic Wear Bright Booster Oil Elixir, and this is by Physicians Formula. And again, like I said, it's just an oil elixir. It's gonna be super hydrating. Like I said, I have dry skin, so this is a absolute must for me, or else my makeup will just not look good throughout the rest of the day. Alright, so, and I don't use a whole lot, just a little, just like a little doot doot, one on each cheek, the forehead, nose, and chin. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom? God. Oh, he's the best. For my primer today, I'm going to be using the Nivea Men Sensitive Post-Shave Balm. And this is going to act as my primer for today. Again, this is not a step that's necessary for those of you who have oily or normal skin, but for me, because I have dry skin, I need to put as much moisture on my face as possible. So last and final step before I actually start applying my foundation, I'm gonna take a setting spray. I know, this probably sounds a little crazy. You're like, why are you putting the setting spray? Doesn't that go last? The setting spray is going to help all of the makeup stay on my face, like stick to it in general. And also it's gonna give me a little bit of moisture to lock into my skin before I start applying anything. So to lock in that moisture, I'm gonna be using the Milani Make It Dewy Setting Spray today. Before I start applying my foundation, I obviously have red skin, so we gotta conceal this right now. I'm gonna be going in with my NYX concealer. This is the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer, and obviously the shade green. And this is going to, of course, help conceal all that redness, especially because while I was, is it on this side? No, this side. Sorry, backwards on my viewfinder. While I was curling my hair today, it was so lovely that I burned my forehead. So fun. Thank you so much. Taking my Morphe M517 brush. I'll show you guys that if it will, of course, go. So going in with this, I'm gonna go ahead and start concealing all of that redness. All right, let's do this. Oh, my poor forehead. My poor forehead. It's a tragedy, really. Now we can do foundation. I'm gonna be probably mixing my foundations. I'm in the process of self-tanning, so you can obviously see my chest and neck are darker than my face because I don't apply self-tanner to my face because I wash and exfoliate it every single night pretty much. So there's really no point. It would just come right off anyway. So let's play around a little bit. I'm still experimenting. I'm getting used to my shade because I'm usually Casper. So bear with me, folks. Today I'm going to try the NYX Total Control Foundation. And this is in the shade Natural. Let's see how this is going to blend out. This is extremely runny, and I don't want it to get it on my new shirt. So let's just put a little bit and then I'll go back in. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more, folks. There we go. So applying to the apples of my cheeks first, because that's the area that's gonna need most coverage. I'm gonna apply here first and then work my way out. And again, I'm not wiping, I'm pushing it right into my skin. Now in my viewfinder it has a little bit of a yellow tint, but as we're applying like our powders and stuff like that, that should kind of dull it down. But yeah, it does have like a little bit of a yellow undertone, and especially because I am cool toned, it kind of picks that up even more. So, you know, cool. Foundation's on. I did not have to mix today. Woo woo. I'm kind of getting into the groove of my tan self, you know. For concealer, I'm gonna go in, now this is a discontinued product, but similar products to this, which is the KIKO Skin Modernst 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. You guys can find similar products just like the NYX HD Concealer, the NARS Radiant Creamy Radiant Concealer, and the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So all of those are very similar. They have a doe foot applicator and they have a nice full coverage to the concealer in general. So all similar products, and those are still available as to where this one is not. I'm about to pull this hair back in about 2.5 seconds, folks. It's bugging me. It's a bugging me. Oh, there we go. That wasn't bad. Never mind. Minor adjustments. In with the Beauty Blender, I'm going to take just a little spritz. Now this time I really do mean a little spritz of my setting spray. And actually, you know what? That's a lie. I'm going to take my Fix Plus because this has a little bit more moisture, I feel like. So Fix Plus, just going to spray this right on my Beauty Blender. And now I'm going to go in and blend all this out. Now, because I don't know, I guess I have smaller temples, so I really could take it up if I want, but because the rest of my face is so round, I don't want to take it up because that's just making that area appear, it's just making that area appear bigger. So I want to kind of just keep that concealer right here. So I'm not going to bring it up into the eye like a lot of other people do, but that's because they have not round faces, they have oval faces, and they can do that. They're good. So don't worry, I am going to make a video and go in depth about how to contour for round faces. Now we can go ahead and take our setting powder and go ahead and bake. So today I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder. So something that you'll notice that I'm going to do is instead of starting right here in the center of my eye and then working my way out, I'm going to do the exact opposite. So now what this does is you'll notice that your lines already naturally go this way when you have under eye lines and wrinkles and whatever. So when you're starting from this side, you're kind of pushing the powder right into those wrinkles to blur, not necessarily blur them, but to fill them in and make sure they're not as apparent. Now I learned this trick from Manny MUA. He's such a doll. I love him. If you guys don't follow him yet, you definitely should head over to his channel. I will leave a link in my description box below. He has some really, really great tips, and of course he's Manny MUA, so he's great. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, you're going to start from this side and work your way in. And now you're just pushing that powder right into that eye. And I'm going to let that bake. I'm going to go right where I highlighted on my chin, Cupid's bow, nose, and forehead. So now that my baking is pretty much done, I'm going to go in with my powder puff, and I'm going to take that setting powder and just push it right into the areas of my skin that I did not highlight or bake yet. Now that I have taken a powder puff and kind of brushed or pushed all of that into my skin, I'm going to take a brush, and this is the one from KIKO MILANO in the number 07. And I'm just going to swipe away all the excess powder. Alright, so now that that's good to go, we can go ahead and move on to contouring. So today I'm going to be contouring my face with the Inglot HD Sculpting Powder in the shade 509. And to start off my contouring, I usually like to use a precision contour brush to really define that line first, and then I'll use a big fluffy brush, I can't talk today, to buff everything into the skin. So first brush that I'm going to use is nope, not that one. First brush I'm going to use is the Morphe R5 from the Rose Gold collection. And I'm just going to tap a little bit into this product because it is very pigmented. So dip right into it and then tap off the excess. And for me, I'm going to start off right here at the tip of my ear, and then I'm going to work my way down. Now to contour the jawline and my chin, you know, because I got to get rid of that double chin. So starting right here by the bottom of my ear and blending that onto the jawline right here to the chin. I'm going to go a little further down on my chin, again, just to kind of give that illusion that I don't have a double chin. So now to take a bigger fluffy brush, and this is my Jessup Taper Face Brush. I mentioned this, I think on my live chat actually, same thing. My live chat fam knows everything. You guys gotta join me if you haven't already. And same thing, I'm gonna dip right into the product and blend it right into that area where I already contoured, and so I have a nice, flawless, smooth contour. And same thing with under my jawline. I'm going to blend that out and bring it down my neck a little bit. All right, so it's so important that when you're using your foundation and your bronzer or your contour or anything like that, that you're always taking it from your face and bringing it down onto your neck. That way the 3 core pieces, and when I say 3 core pieces, I mean your face, neck, and chest, all these pieces match, because especially when you're wearing lower cut tops like I am today, you want everything to match. You don't want to have a lighter face compared to your chest, and vice versa. You want everything to be the same shade. So always make sure you bring it down just a wee bit and blend everything out. So now that I am done with the cheekbones and the jawline, we're gonna move on to the temples of my forehead and just the forehead in general, but not all over. So I'm taking it right here on the temples of my forehead, bringing it down and going a little bit right here, right above my eyebrow, but I'm not bringing it into the center or across the top. And again, I'll explain why I do the things that I do for contouring in my contour video that is coming up very shortly, so don't worry. Okay, so now that we are done contouring the face, I'm gonna go in and contour my nose, because it's a little jacked up. So to contour my nose, the brushes I'm gonna be using are different than the ones, obviously, that I use to contour my face. So first, I'm gonna be using the Coastal Scents brush, and it's pretty much just a long tapered pencil brush, and it's a little bit thicker. It doesn't have a number or anything. You can go right on their website and obviously find this brush or something very similar to it. So you know how I used a precision contour brush to really give me that line, and then I used a bigger, fluffier brush to blend all that out? I use the same exact process for the nose. So a more precision brush, and then I use a fluffier flat brush to actually blend everything out. And this one is by Jessup as well. This is the Jessup blending brush, and this comes in a set with the brush that I use, the fluffier brush, to contour my cheeks with. And now you can notice that I'm bringing it into the hollows of my eyes right here. And that's just to kind of add a little bit more definition, because this area for me is very flat. So I always kind of just bring that contour, whatever product I have left over. I don't go in there with product. Whatever product I have left over from already chiseling out my nose, I go right into that hollow area right there, and it just defines it a little bit more. And of course, I take my fluffy blending brush and buff that out as well, so I don't have any harsh lines. All right, so like I said, now with that fluffier blending brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit more product from the contour, from the contour pan, and I'm going to tap off the excess as always and buff that right into the sides. And I'm taking the brush going in from this angle, not this one, because I already was pretty precise with the other brush. So going in with this one and kind of buffing everything out. Same thing, I didn't dip it into any more product. I went from here, I used up the product, and whatever I have left over, I am buffing that into those areas right there. Now that my nose is all contoured, I'm going to clean up that center piece of my nose, and I'm essentially baking my nose. How do I explain this? Essentially baking my nose. So I'm going to take a little bit of my setting powder with a flat shader brush, and I'm going to bake the center of my nose to kind of really clean up that line between the highlighted part and the contour part. So the flat shader brush I'm going to use, let's use this one. This one is from KIKO, and now this is actually one of their older brushes. They just came out with a new line, so they have a new updated version of this brush, but this is the original 212 brush from KIKO. So if you go into the KIKO stores and say, hey, I want the updated version of the 212 brush, they have a chart somewhere, and they will get it figured out for you and give you the updated version, or you can just walk right over to the eye brushes and find ones very similar to it. So it's a flat shader brush just like this. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of my setting powder, like I said, and I'm gonna go right in as straight as I possibly can, and I'm going to clean up that section. Now that that's done, my favorite part, we're going to highlight. First and foremost, I like a nice beam. I want people from Mars to see me and be like, hi, how are you? I don't want to glow. I usually am not a glow person, but everybody's different. If you like that glow, glow girl, glow. You do you. But I like that beam. So to make that super intense beam, like I always do, I'm gonna go in with either a cream or a liquid first. Today I'm gonna use a liquid. So I'm gonna use my Hard Candy Illuminating and Strobing Mix-In Drops in the shade White Pearl. So I'm going to just take a few drops, put them on the back of my hand, and then grab my beauty blender and push that right into the cheekbones. So grabbing a little bit of product like I mentioned, and I'm just going to apply that right here in this general area. I think I'm actually going to mix 2 highlighters today because I'm not like super tan yet. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I'm pretty much as tan as I'm going to get because I'm so pale. So I'm going to mix 2 shades. I'm going to mix a little bit of like a champagne tone that is a little bit more on the white side with a more gold toned highlighter. So to give me that really nice beam and intensify the highlight that I'm going to apply, I'm going to grab my MAC Fix Plus. And I'm just going to spray this on one cheek at a time, dip into the product, and then go from there. So like I said, one cheek at a time. I'm going to be mixing my Mary Lou Luminizer and my KIKO Water Shadow in the shade 208. And yes, I know it's an eyeshadow, but it is beautiful as a highlight. But it is on the gold side, so it's definitely for medium to dark skin tones. Definitely not for the pale, like me, usually. But I fake tanned, so I'm good. I'm there. And now that my nose is done baking, we can go ahead and wipe that off. I'm going to take a Morphe M401 brush and just wipe all that powder off on my nose. And then I'm going to highlight my nose. With my middle finger, I'm going to take a little bit of the Mary Lou and a little bit of that KIKO shade and just put a little dot right there on the tip of my nose to give me that kind of like little doll button nose. And then I'm gonna, same thing, dip into Mary Lou and a little bit of that 208, and then just highlight down the center of my nose and a little bit above my Cupid's bow. I know you guys hate me, but I'm just really feeling this color today. You can use any color blush you want. This is just the blush that I'm using today. This is the KIKO Milano 107 Soft Touch Blush. They no longer make these, but it's probably my all-time favorite shade blush, especially right now. It just suits me. It speaks to my soul. So taking my Real Techniques blush brush, this bad boy's been through it. It's been through the ringer. It's a little dinged up, so don't judge. But this is my go-to blush brush. So dipping into that, and I'm just going to start right here and then work my way down. I already have huge cheeks, so I don't want to start at the apples of my cheeks because that's only going to accent them. So I want to start from over here and work my way in to make my face appear, again, slimmer, not to accent those big bubbles right there. Because, you know, I'm a little bit of a chunky monkey. You can bring it on like a little bit, but don't start here and then work your way up if you have big cheeks like I do. All right, guys, we are all set. We are done. So I'm gonna spray it up with some setting spray and we are good to go. That is it, you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave some love down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah! Bye!